The art of the entrance. Some have it, and some really have it. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest TV entrances ever caught on camera. For this list, we're looking at the most amazing arrivals ever made on a TV talk show. We'll be including both daytime and late-night chat programs, but excluding fictionalized ones.
Well, that was quite an entrance.
Number 10. Charlie Sheen enters in a tank. A military tank is used for maximum destruction during wartime, but if you're Charlie Sheen, it's also a means for an epic talk show entrance. Not one for subtlety, Sheen made his winning entrance on Conan just 2 years after his infamous removal from 2.5 Men. With Conan O'Brien taping his program on the same studio lot Charlie was banned from, the tiger-blooded rock star from Mars arrived the most secure way possible. In a giant battle tank. Oh, and he was also flanked by two very attractive ladies. Because of course he was.
What is it like in that freaking tank with those two girls?
It was like military Pilates.
Number 9. Jim Carrey is released through a trapdoor. It was the fall of 2009 and a strange media hoax had captured the nation's attention. Reports of a child trapped in a homemade helium balloon led to a massive rescue effort, all while news cameras broadcast the incident to horrified viewers. As it turned out, the boy was not in any danger at all, but rather hiding in his parents' attic. Enter Jim Carrey. On a promotional tour for A Christmas Carol, the funny man decided to spoof the balloon boy frenzy on an episode of Ellen. Following a faux news report, Ellen discovers Carrey hiding beneath a trapdoor and springs him loose. Leave it to Jim to turn an odd moment in national news into an even odder talk show entrance. Number 8. Bill Murray arrives as Peter Pan. Long considered one of the greatest talk show guests ever, Bill Murray is also known to make some triumphant appearances on his way through the curtain. This was never more evident than on Late Show with David Letterman, where Murray gave many highlight reel arrivals. These included turns as Liberace, a football player, and even a kidnap victim.
You guys are Americans! What's the deal? Why you guys are like...
But perhaps Bill's most ambitious grand entrance came in the form of Peter Pan.
I'm flying! I'm flying!
Swinging from the ceiling of the Ed Sullivan Theater, Murray serenaded the audience with his best Neverland vocals. Just look at Letterman's pure giddy joy. It's just a wonder that Broadway never came calling to give Bill's version of Pan a run on the main stage.
Yeah! Wow!
Number 7. Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd emerge from the DeLorean. Talk show surprises are always fun. Talk show reunions are equally exciting. A talk show surprise reunion where a beloved movie duo reprises their iconic characters? Great Scott! That's just amazing! During a special night of tapings in Brooklyn, New York, Jimmy Kimmel was interrupted by a couple of time travelers in the form of Marty McFly and Doc Brown. In a magical moment for Back to the Future fans everywhere, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd emerged from the DeLorean. What followed was a funny back and forth with Kimmel about the wonders of this new futuristic world. But did we mention they arrived in the freaking DeLorean? Number 6. Sean Connery flies in with a jetpack. Turns out legendary actor Sean Connery likes to leave the audience shaken and stirred when it comes to his entrances. In a callback to his 1965 James Bond outing in Thunderball, Connery casually touched down on Late Show with David Letterman via a rocketing jetpack. It has since been explained that this wasn't a real jetpack, however, as Connery was lowered onto the stage by a set of wires.
Where can I get me one of them jetpacks?
I just came from Europe.
Additionally, the jet exhaust was produced courtesy of a few handy fire extinguishers. Regardless of the schematics though, we'd say this entrance was most certainly Bond-worthy. Number 5. Will Smith makes multiple entrances. One shot is often all you get at a first impression. That is, of course, unless you're Will Smith, in which case you get 4. Appearing on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Smith made his initial entrance to the couch with some playful pointing and light footwork. Wanting to give the audience more, he demanded a do-over.
And I just think, like, they deserve a better entrance than that. I'm sorry. Just one more.
Smith reemerged by rolling around in a giant hamster ball. Still not satisfied, he followed with a disco boogie. closer to being content, the Fresh Prince pulled out all the stops for his final ascension to the stage. This time with a red carpet, a full choir, confetti, and oh yeah, Smith himself riding in on a white unicorn. Now that is what we call Big Willie style. Number 4, Kevin Bacon cuts Footloose. Many people have danced on the Tonight Show stage over the years, but on one fateful night, host Jimmy Fallon proclaimed that dancing was to be outlawed on the NBC talk show.
Guys, it says so right here, and dancing's outlawed. It's official. I mean,
It just so happened Kevin Bacon was set to appear that night in celebration of the 30th anniversary of his hit musical Footloose.
Loaded like a gun. Oh, you feel so trapped and confused.
Having found himself in this situation before, Bacon kicked off his Sunday shoes and proceeded to put on an elaborate and very familiar song and dance routine.
Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut Footloose.
Fallon immediately reversed the dancing ban, and all was right in the world again. No one puts Kevin Bacon in a corner, especially on The Tonight Show.
I hereby proclaim that dancing is now legal here at The Tonight Show, thanks to Kevin Bacon!
Number 3, Peter O'Toole rides in on a camel. Distinguished thespian of stage and screen, the late Peter O'Toole has many accolades to his name. And on a London-based episode of Late Show with David Letterman, he added badass talk show entrance to the list. In a nod to his Oscar-nominated role in Lawrence of Arabia, O'Toole made his arrival on top of a real-life camel. Nonchalantly smoking a cigarette and sporting a dashing three-piece suit no less, the actor even ignored the ladder Letterman had brought over, and descended on his own. As for his humped mammal friend, the renowned actor rewarded him with a can of beer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of cool.
What kind of camel was it? I don't know anything about that.
That one?
Yeah.
It's a little zoo camel. I think it's a sweet little bit.
Number 2, Nicolas Cage somersaults and throws money. Many have tried to pinpoint a moment where Nicolas Cage was at his most Nicolas Cageiest. Well, perhaps it occurred on a BBC chat program hosted by Terry Wogan in the bygone year of 1992.
Welcome, Nicolas Cage.
When the veteran talk show host announces Cage to the stage, the actor immediately somersaulted his way out with great enthusiasm. This was followed by a rather generous offering of money, in which he feverishly threw fistfuls to the lucky audience. And let's not forget those glorious karate kicks and punches. Yep, Nicolas Cage is a true national treasure, all right, especially when it comes to talk show appearances. Shock of shocks, I am of course partial to the Back to the Future entrance. I mean, honestly, wouldn't you enter places in a DeLorean if given the option? I know I would. Anyway, believe it or not, there is something else at the top of this list. So let's allow our honorable mentions to enter our lives, and then we'll find out the greatest TV entrance ever.
Please welcome Billy Porter.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Chris Farley puts an audience member in a trash bin. The magic of Chris Farley was perhaps in not knowing what the lovable comedian was going to do at any given time.
Well, by God, I got a couple of words for you. You better get your act together!
His whirlwind energy, excitement, and unpredictability were never more prevalent than in a single entrance on Late Show with David Letterman. In a Tasmanian devil-like frenzy, Farley made his arrival while slapping hands with the studio audience. That is, until he decided to pick one up and promptly dispose of him in the outside trash.
I'm going.
Chris returned with a pair of impressive cartwheels, all before taking his seat next to Dave. This just goes to show that when it comes to a great talk show entrance, spontaneity and hilarity reign supreme. And Chris Farley had him in spades.
The finest entrance a guest has ever made.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.